Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you on our DPP Revival Invitational set. This is a round 4 winners bracket matchup between Martial Law going by Morgane and Kadabra versus Malekith. So as we are getting into the heart of the tournament, both players having a real shot at making a run towards finals, as more than half the competitors have been eliminated at this point. So that said though, let's jump right into this. Raikou leads, Zapdos lead. Raikou probably an attacking lead, and Zapdos not sure what it is. Just going to T-Bolt there. Huge crit there on the Latias. That Latias looks like it's defensive and doesn't want to stick around to take a Draco Meteor, but Skarmory will get hazards up. Meteor Mash misses, so Malekith probably bringing some kind of balance, and there's a Donphan as the spinner, and probably gonna look to get rid of the spikes, and Malekith knocking off there, probably trying to catch a Rotom switch, but Whirlwind's into the Zapdos instead, and Swampert is going to be the follow-up as the Zapdos U-turns into Latias. Latias going to threaten the Draco Meteor. Instead, just going to Calm Mind there and just going to die to an Ice Punch. So, brave decision there from Malekith to try and set up. Probably was hoping the Pert would respect it, but that did not happen. Gira's got DD up there, and Latias should be defensive. Question is this T-Wave Lati? No, but it is T-Bolt Lati instead of T-Wave, so Gira's gonna go down, but it's gonna invite the Tyranitar in. T-Tar either mixed or a DD set. And just gonna crunch there, that's gonna do nothing to that Lucario, and Lucario has a free close combat here. And gonna do 35% to Donphan, so may or may not kill. It looks like it's Scarf Lucario. And finally the Rotom is revealed and going to get the spin block off against the Donphan, so hazards will be here to stay for now. And Rotom gonna get the sub up, so this is actually really bad for Malekith if this is sub split Rotom. If this has Will-O-Wisp, then this game is even more over. And no, it's just got Shadow Ball instead. Huge crit there doing significant damage to T-Tar, so T-Tar is revealed to be Choice Scarf. And that looks to be a Hidden Power Fighting, perhaps. Bit of an unusual set, if that is, HP Fight. And the Zapdos go roost up here. And just gonna Shadow Ball here, fishing for a Spadef drop. So Marshall bringing a interesting Raikou balance offense. And Charge Beam's there, but the crit T-Bolt is going to be a little bit annoying. Marshall does not love to see that. But the Raikou here looks immensely threatening. And the Donphan can switch in, but it's gonna be threatened out by Himpower Grass or Ice. Even Aura Sphere would do a significant amount here. And Metagross is going to be pivoted in. Gonna take 38%. We don't know if this is Scarf, but no, this is Lefty's meta. And it's just gonna die to T-Bolt, and Marshall is just gonna clean house here. Donphan's gonna need an Ice Shark crit, not gonna get it. And just gonna get Aura Sphered off the face of the earth. And Zapdos is effectively dead. So, Marshall's gonna take game 1. Really dominating game 1 from Marshall against Malekith. And he's gonna lead the series 1-0. A little bit of post game commentary. Really I think where it went wrong for Malekith was he tried to like get a little cute, try to make a play with the Donphan, try to like get a knockoff on the incoming Rotom. Unfortunately, that did not happen, and Marshall with an interesting Rotom set, a sub Rotom set with Shadow Ball, Hidden Power, Fighting. Given it did decent damage to the Tyranitar, which is actually not a bad set. I actually kind of like that on Rotom sometimes, but it can be very hard to fit here. And Raikou is also a Mon that is just very hard to fit in general. But it's a fantastic lead in... Well, okay, it's not fantastic, but it's a solid lead choice sometimes in the metagame, just because like you have like these decent coverage options that Zapdos might not have, where it can just punch holes into opposing offensive builds like the one that Malekith had early. The Latias getting crit kind of sucked for Malekith because that meant that the Latias could have at least posed more of a threat. As for the item choice, we don't know what it was. It might have been Lumberry, it could have been even something like Cobra Berry, for example. But there's like or even something like Expert Belt, but there were tons of decent move slot choices that you could go for. And defensive meta on these kind of offensive or like balanced teams that leans towards offense is like, it's not a bad choice because it gives you a little bit of longevity against something like Draco Meteor Latias, which if you're tasking Tyranitar with dealing with Starmie and then like Latias, but sometimes it can get overwhelmed, so Metagross on Malekith's team can kind of alleviate those burdens. And Scarf Lucario, not a bad Pokemon, I like it sometimes here, and we really see the power of Spikes really, or like just Hazards really allowing Lucario to be a threat in this matchup, and also like Marshall being able to Ice Punch the Lati. So that being said though, let's go into game 2. Here we have game 2. Jirachee lead, Zapdos lead, classic lead matchup here. Jirachee just got T-Wave here, and yep, so T-Wave handshake, and going to eat a T-Bolt there, but that looks to be a Jirachee with some Spadef bulk from the looks of it. Not unheard of. That's not a bad set. It lets you have it be a soft check against Gengar normally, but this Jirachee now really heavily crippled, and the Zapdos just gonna take it out here. But Scissor's gonna be invited in, going to U-turn, probably trying to bait a Heat Wave. Full Para's there, but the Lati is now an immense threat to Malekith's team. And Draco Meteor doing 27% to Jirachee, so that's probably Scarf Lati or a... Oh no, it's T-Wave Lati, which is all right here, and Lumberry kicking in. Not bad, lets you have it be a soft check against something like Breloom, and also for interactions like these where you can kind of trade paras. And Scissor just gonna keep U-turning here and into Lati, but the Zapdos is gonna get healed back up for decent amounts of damage, and oh, Zapdos just staying in there, and it's probably just gonna get a Roost up again and going right back to Lati. So the question now is, what do you do if you're Malekith or Marshall for that matter? And okay, Marshall's just okay with trading down, trying to get some damage here, and gotta get a Body Slam Para, and just gotta get the Fire Punch off, but not before the Scizor do significant damage to his Jirachee, and Breloom looking to be superpowered perhaps. And Malekith's got pivot into Celebi, so decent pivot there, but Latias probably won't KO this Celebi. And Celebi looks to be the rocker on Malekith's team, and oh, Healing Wish is there into the Scizor on the Rocks attempt, and Celebi's gotta be forced out, and looks like he's gonna have to sacrifice the Jirachee. I'm not sure if that was the Pokemon that you want sacrificed there, but I suppose you want to keep the Zapdos around so that you can deal with Breloom, which the Zapdos can look really annoying right now actually. And T-Bolt's gonna do 23%. And Rotom is going to pivot back out into a Breloom, and oh, it is Paraspam from Malekith, so the last here should be Starmie and Tyranitar. And just going to stay in, just going to try to fish for some Stone Edge misses, but Breloom's going to let a Focus Punch rip here. Loads up the Focus Punch, got the Hidden Power's going to break the sub, but now it's a mind game here. Do you heal up as Zapdos and risk eating significant damage, or do you... no, it's just gonna get full Parrot, so not even gonna have the chance to do much there. And now it's locked into Roost, so this Zapdos is as good as useless. And Malekith was comfortable getting rid of the Scarf, knowing Malekith's team structure. And Tyranitar misses Stone Edge. That's gonna suck for Malekith because he could have at least dealt significant damage, and Malekith expressing some frustration in the chat. And now this Breloom can just fish for full paras for a few times. T-Bolt will at least break the sub, but all it takes is just one bad full para, and oh, there it is. So Marshall gets what he's looking for here. loads up the focus punch, and going to do 31%, but he can safely sub up a few more times. No, see, oh, that's gotta stink because he could have at least traded more damage down. And now the last is certainly Starmie. And that Starmie is T-Wave, obviously, and it does not have... Oh, it's a Bolt Star from the looks of it. But yeah, so the Starmie normally does not run Psychic on these kind of Paraspam builds, like the one that Malekith is bringing here. And the Celebi probably has Hint Power Fire, but the Scizor is just gonna be a threat to it. And oh, it is Jolly Breloom, which probably explains why the Focus Punch damage was kind of minimal. And gotta get the Grass Knot off, so the Breloom will at least be put out of commission. But now this Rotom is going to threaten the Celebi. And this Celebi's probably Hidden Power Fire too, if it has it. And no, it's just T-Wave, but that's just delaying the inevitable. Grass Knot's here, that's not gonna do much, and the Celebi's just gonna get deleted off the face of the earth here. And Suicune's the last, so if this is Surf Suicune, then this game is as good as wrapped up. No, just got Ice Beam here, only doing 33%. Marshall probably did not want to risk the miss there, but now he's going for a Hydro Pump, and that's going to take care of business. So Marshall's going to take this set 2-0. And what a game 2. That was a very ugly game. Although you could say that Malekith got a bit of a break being able to get several full paras against Marshall's lead Jirachee. And Marshall's team, interesting squad here. This is like Sizzloom, which is like not a bad combo. I like that. And then you got this Super Suicune from the looks of it, acting as the win condition on Marshall's team. And then you can kind of see how something like Laddie and Scizor can kind of enable that. And then you still have the Rotom, the Scarf Rotom, which allows Marshall to have some outplay angles against something like a Boom Heatran, for example. But really though, and Malekith's team, this is like a well-known 6. Like everybody's seen this 6. Celebi right here, the Tyranitar, it's probably one of the more used Paraspam variants that you're gonna see. With Celebi supposedly being the check to Breloom, but you can really see in this game how like even something like Celebi, Zap, which should be really well equipped to handle Breloom, can just get worn down by something like Para Hacks, and Marshall being able to maximize his chances with Jolly Sub Punch Breloom, which is also a pretty good set. Because of the fact that, one, you're hitting 262, this means that you can flip interactions on something like Lumgira or something like Lum D-Knight, which normally runs Adamant, for example. So like that's just a few ways how Jolly Breloom can flip interactions, as well as being able to get the jump on something like Jirachees, which often run like a 244 or like defensive Jirachee specifically, and be able to use the subs to maximize his chances of getting the full paras that he's looking for. And all that good stuff. But that being said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.